Welcome back to Journey On. That was the best pre-show show we've ever had. When you see any of the three of us next time, just ask us about the joke, and if we're in appropriate company, we'll tell it to you, and if not, we'll tell it to you anyway because it's that funny.
It is good.
So once again, thanks Amy, and thanks Pastor Karl for being here. We've got
Sure.
lots of things happening in the church, in our families. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's the Monday before on the 21st, the
There
24th
you go.
of November. And we're on the cusp of snow here in Bismarck. I think we're just hours away
Yeah.
from some snow. Does it come to Fargo also? Have you guys been paying
Yep. We
attention?
have all the warnings. And what did my wife say? They've given themselves a pretty decent range between 4 inches and a foot.
Oh,
Somewhere
okay.
between 4 inches and a foot.
All right. Well, that's fair. So good luck to all of us. Stay safe
Yeah. Yep.
and all the things that we normally do. What did we do? We talked about something this last week. Amy, we talked about inquiring minds in the series. Why do bad things happen to good people? And I like how you flip-flopped it too. Why do good things
Good
happen to
things.
bad people? And that was an interesting thought. I've never really put it into that perspective, but I definitely have had that feeling, I guess. I haven't put it in terms of those two together. Um,
Mhm.
so how was the question I have for you? Because so Pastor Karl, I don't ask this to you very often because you do messages most weeks, right? This is part of what you do, and you've got kind of a process. Amy, how does the process work for you when you know that there's a message coming up and you get to kind of do the research and you've got maybe a theme or a title that you start with? How does the message come to you throughout? Is it more than a week? Is it within a week? Is it the last 2 hours before you give the first message? How does it work?
I can tell you not the last one. It
Okay.
would not be 2 hours. I would probably, I don't know what I would do if I had to come up with something in that short. I feel like my hand vibrates sometimes while I'm holding the microphone. That's how I determine what hand holds the microphone, is which hand isn't vibrating.
Oh, all right.
Because I literally feel like my hand is shaking that bad some days. So
Well, I can tell
it,
you that I've not noticed anyway.
No, not
So
at
you're
all.
doing a good
yeah,
job of switching back and forth for sure.
yep,
Yep.
yes, but that is one of the factors that I've used in the past. So how a message comes together, I think a lot of times I try and find a book. Like, yes, we have the Bible and there should be scriptures, but at least I'm going to say two of the last three, I think I've found some other book that I've read or read part of, and pulled a whole bunch of information out of that to have a lot of good material. And so that Warren Wiersbe book was phenomenal for this week's message.
Some
Um,
really good quotes that you had out of that. I know that
Yeah.
was well received also. And yeah, I'm also not of the mindset to wait till the very last minute. And at the same time, sometimes things change on the drive to church, right?
Right.
I think we've all nope.
Not quite that closely. No.
Well, we all have different ways of going about it, different ways that God speaks to us to get the messages out. And I like how you started off, and I've got some notes on what I heard. It was another great message, Amy. Thank you for coming out to Bismarck, and I'm sure in Fargo also. Fantastic message all around. I heard something that I really latched onto. We don't know what tragedies God has already stopped in our lives before they happen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here's why that really hit me. I've worked in IT or customer service in almost every job I've had. And we don't in those jobs we don't deal with good news. It's only when there's a problem that we're talking to people. God
Right.
probably feels the same. We're not necessarily talking to him when all things are good, but when all hell literally breaks loose, it feels like that's when we're reaching out. He probably thinks the same thing when our caller ID pops up as, oh, Jim's in trouble again. So all those
Yeah.
things, and that's a reason to be more grateful every day for the things that we don't know he's stopping. So thanks for pointing that out. That was helpful for me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard people reference that, like, I'm running late to work and and then you just get irritated when you hit red light after red light, and then you turn one of the last corners and see this big car accident or hear that something happened. And
Right.
if you would have hit every light green, you could have been a part of that. So really, that's just, yeah, one of the examples that you don't know how many times you've been saved from things already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to keep in mind for sure.
Mhm.
At the core of the question, though, when it comes down to it, why does God allow suffering? And I think even before that, why does God cause suffering? And that was kind of a separate issue to deal with, also, right? Like, I not causing it is allowing it. There's a distinction in there.
Yes.
And for me, the easy answer, there always seems to be an easy answer in the messages, and not simple and not necessarily easy
Right.
to put into practice, but the
Right.
easy answer is we can't understand God's plan. We can't even understand his existence, or how he perceives time,
Right.
much less what a plan is to him. Because we think of a plan, and it's, this is what I'm going to accomplish today, or this week, or this month, or this year. God doesn't even think in those terms. So when we think about why am I suffering today, I love the twine analogy. It's not even a blip on that piece of twine, in God's perspective, whatever that could possibly be. So it's greater than us, and thank God I don't have to be God. I don't want to deal with
Right.
it.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that. And the idea that, I had a couple things about good, bad, evil, eternal. The words can be a blessing, and you did a good, like, you defined what that was. The idea that Jesus said, "I am not good. Who are you calling good?" That I've heard it before, and it blew my mind yesterday when I heard it, that, oh, he's not even good. How? Right? Like, God is the only good. And sometimes it can cause us to lose sight of meaning also, because if we get hung up on that word, Amy, you did a good job on Sunday. And if you just immediately fire back, "Oh no, I'm not good. Only God is good." Well, then we get kind of stuck on being contrary for the sake of conflict. And I'm not accusing you of doing that, but I think that's a human response sometimes, right?
Mhm.
We can get stuck on those words: good, evil, bad, good. Why is God allowing bad things to happen to good people? And then we get stuck on bad and good. And what is God doing and it's just words instead of the meaning behind them. So I really appreciate that you gave some good definitions and really dug into what the meaning was, behind the question that I think people ask a lot of times.
Yeah.
I do want to,
Thank you.
Amy, can I jump in there before you go?
Sure.
Just to clarify one thing, and you might have been doing this when Jesus says, when the rich young ruler comes up, and Jim, you're on track. I just want to clear things up for anyone that might be watching that maybe isn't fully on board with Jesus as a savior. So when the rich young ruler comes up, he says, "Good teacher." He calls Jesus good teacher. And Jesus says, "Who are you calling good? Only God is good."
Hmm.
Okay. So you could take that and make it mean that, oh, Jesus either isn't good or isn't God, but he's both.
Hmm.
Or Jesus isn't perfect, but he is. So what Jesus was really doing, I think, is directing that young man's heart. Where is your heart? Um,
Yeah.
and so Jesus wasn't saying, by the way, I'm not God, or I'm not perfect, because he is, and but he also is human, and he's directing that young man to his humanness, that no human is good, only God is good. Um, yeah, and there's probably a series we could do on that. Um, but yeah, when Jesus says, "Hey, who are you calling good?" Right?
Hmm.
He's not saying that he's not, and he's not saying he's not God.
Good. Thank you for catching that. That was,
Sure, no problem.
all of what you just said was in my brain when I said those words.
Right,
But
right.
back to words. We get constricted, I think, by words.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and that's why we're here, help each other out, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's, we were talking earlier before the show about what family means, and I think that's an important part of it. Not just to call each other out and say you're wrong, but to say, and also, it's like,
Yeah.
what's that called? Whose line is it anyway? Shows like that. What is that
Oh, sure.
called? Where they're doing
Improv.
improv. Thank you. One of the big tools in improv is yes and I think that's one
Oh,
of the
sure.
things that's really fun in these conversations. You say, and unless one of us and any of us in the family can say something completely inaccurate, right? Like
Sure.
if we were to say Jesus is not God, okay, well now we need to stop and clarify because one of the words that you're using isn't right. We need to figure out which one
Yep.
it is.
We got to
But
eliminate at
otherwise,
least one, right?
yeah, but otherwise,
Yeah.
a lot of these are just, yes, I see what you're saying, and there's also this that we need to consider. So
Right.
this is what we do, and by the way, we really appreciate that folks on Facebook and YouTube watch this and share it with
Yeah.
others. It's a lot of
Mhm.
fun that we can do this. I would do this even if we didn't record it. If you guys were willing, I would do this every Monday
If
anyway.
if every time was like the last half hour before I would log on for that. Yeah, absolutely.
This is
Amy
yeah,
telling
this is
jokes. Come on.
with it. We usually eat dessert on Monday evenings first, and then we do the meal afterwards. So
I was like,
someday,
wait, wait.
someday
Oh
we'll
yeah.
get it all. Yeah. So coming up, we're continuing into at least the middle of next month. I know with
Yeah.
Inquiring Minds, a lot of questions out there, and a lot of things
Yeah.
we're talking out. And this coming weekend, so we've got Thanksgiving, and
Hmm.
then we've got Shopping Friday, or more accurately for many of us, stay off the streets and stay at home as much as possible Friday.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then I guess it doesn't hurt to talk about this. I know Saturday has been recently historically for small businesses, and just maybe a shout out to those in our family that own small businesses, or folks that are looking for something to shop for, to take part in the small businesses that especially are owned by Christians and people we know
Yeah.
and trust,
Yeah.
and are especially part of our family. That's on Saturday, and then it's also church in Fargo
Hmm.
Saturday, and
Hmm.
in Bismarck on Sunday. We will have regular services.
Nice
And
job.
thank you. Yeah, it's
Nailed it.
yeah, exactly. And I bet if you go back and time that out, it's probably exactly 60 seconds. When I worked in radio, that gets put into your brain. I do
Oh,
things
is
in
that right?
30-second chops. Yeah, I can finish talking about something and go back in time, and it's like, yeah, I'm
Huh.
designed somehow. I'm designed to
I
do
do not
things in
have
these.
that skill,
Uh,
obviously.
well, and we fixed that in Bismarck by getting you a clock. So,
There you go. Yep.
yeah, it works out great. I've never, and by the way, we joke about that a lot. I've never felt like I'm looking at my watch so that we can get done with church. And I know that sometimes that comes across. We joke about that, and it's fun
Sure.
because we like to rib each other.
Sure.
I would, if we had the opportunity to stay for an extra hour going through a message and continuing with fellowship, happy to do that every time. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, we had a great boy. How many sidebars can I do in a row here? I'm up to three if you want, for those keeping track.
Let's
Uh,
go for the record. Let's
all
do
right.
this.
Yeah. How much time do you got? We went out for lunch slash breakfast, a few of us in Bismarck after the service, and I just want to put out there, number one, thanks to those that went along, even from Fargo. I mean, you guys spent an extra hour and a half
Yeah.
in Bismarck in that fellowship, and we talked about church things, we talked about God things, we talked about silly things.
Mm.
Somebody in the group made a really terrible joke that made himself laugh a lot. I can't remember who it was, but
Yeah, I don't recall. I'm not nothing's coming to me.
that's coming to mind. But he enjoys pancakes also. If you get the chance to dig into that one a little
Okay.
bit,
All
just
right. Yeah.
work.
Yep. It's getting
Yeah.
clear. Getting clear.
But it's really meaningful, and just to have that extra time together, whether it's around service time, in the middle of the week, whatever it is, just to make those extra connections. I appreciate it. And I appreciate when others participate in it because that helps build it. It's stoking the fire, right? And lighting the
Yeah.
fire and
Oh man.
making it bigger and bigger and bigger. So on that note, what is the theme for this
I was
week?
I
In,
was just gonna like give you 3 gold stars for transition there. That's fantastic.
there you
So
go.
you said stoking the fire and kindle, and this week is inquiring minds, and the question we're answering is how do I keep my fire lit for God?
For God.
That is the question.
Hmm.
And if people want to um, read ahead, I would suggest they read Matthew 6.
Matthew
We're
6.
gonna reference a few more verses than just Matthew 6, but Matthew 6 contains what I think I would probably call the antidote for the enemies that we have. Fire stealers, we'll call it.
Hmm. Is that do I remember right? Is that part of the Sermon on the Mount?
Yeah, it's right
Right
after the
around there?
Sermon on the Mount. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
okay, good.
It's right.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's right after the Beatitudes. Yes, exactly.
Oh, after okay, yep, after the
Which
bees.
is still part of the Sermon on the Mount. Yep.
All right. Yay. Okay, that's where I want the star. I'm starting to really learn where things are at in the Bible. So
Yeah.
that one makes me okay, I'm better now. I
Yeah.
pat myself
That's
on the back.
4 gold stars, Jim.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna have to,
retire. Yeah.
yeah.
This is the last
Yep.
show. I can't do any better than 4 gold stars.
Mic
Uh,
drop. We're out of
yeah,
here.
that's it forever and
That was
ever.
four
Um,
sidebars, 4 gold stars. I am done.
so I can tell one personal story that is the opposite of how to keep my fire lit for God, and
Okay.
it has to do with a time in my life where I and I've heard this from others too, where I was perfectly fine being spiritual, but I didn't want to have religion. I wasn't a
Mm.
religious person. I didn't need, and we've talked about it here as in corporate worship, right?
Right, right.
Where we get
Yep.
together and now we think of the family time and the fellowship. And I was fine having conversations with my Christian friends. And I felt like I had this connection. I had the awakening that I have a relationship with Jesus, and that's it. That's all I need. I've taken care of it. And a really good friend that helped me in my early walk as an adult Christian, that sat me down and we talked about that one day. And he said, well, it's fine. And you're right. You've got that relationship and you've got this little ember that you carry with you, and you try to keep it lit and you try to keep it going. And that's an important part of your relationship. But imagine if you put that together with others, and all of us are carrying this little ember, and pretty soon we've got all of these embers together. We're stoking them together.
Yeah.
Now we've got the fire for God. And that's where
Yeah.
things really happen. The fruit of what we're talking about and the fruit of what we're doing really come together because we're putting our fires together. So
That's awesome.
I don't know exactly what direction your message is going, but I can already tell you I need to hear it. So
Okay. All right.
thanks in advance. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
And some other things that we have coming up, December 7th in
Hmm.
Fargo is the Sunday revival at 7 p.m.
Yep.
So it's the first of what may be an ongoing
Many.
series.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Our
And
plan is to do them once a month,
mhm,
similar time each month, so there's like a consistency. First weekend, or I think that's what the seventh would be. Is that the first weekend? Yeah.
it would be.
So
Yep.
we're gonna do either first or second, depending.
Sure.
Um, and do exactly that. We're gonna light fires
Mm.
and kindle fires and reignite fires. Everything you can do with a fire except
There's
put it
gonna
out.
be
We're not gonna
there's
put it
gonna be
out.
fire. Yeah, no fire extinguishers.
No,
Yeah, don't call the fire department unless somebody needs saving. Bring the
unless we need
people
to
in.
call the fire
Yeah,
department,
yeah.
right? If someone's
Exactly.
literally on fire, we should probably involve professionals. Yeah.
And specifically in that case, great opportunity to invite people that
Yeah.
are that have the kind of questions we've been talking about, people that
Yeah.
maybe can't make other times to go to church,
Mhm.
not real sure what it's all about. There's music and the message. There will be, a version of a message that is
Yep.
more of an introductory type
Yeah,
message.
let's
But
go with
yeah,
that. Kind of a seeker new believer. I
yeah,
like to say tire kickers, but we're going to be introducing Jesus for sure.
yeah,
Absolutely.
good.
Otherwise, what's the point, right?
Right, right. Well, excuse me. I just went through puberty there again. Uh, and then we have New Year's Eve. And I just learned coming into the show this evening, I just learned New Year's Eve game nights in both Bismarck and Fargo. This is
Yeah.
happening. And the most important thing I think that we can talk about, well, two things. Number one, let's do this, right?
Okay.
We're all gonna get together. It's the
Yeah.
first time we've done a game night in Bismarck in a few years that I know of for sure. So this is a new opportunity.
Hmm.
Board games, I think cornhole might be an option. We're talking
Yeah.
about a few different things. And then the other thing that's really important, I think, is we're going to be done sometime between 8, 9, no later than 10 o'clock, for goodness sakes. I'm done at 8
Yeah.
o'clock every day,
Oh
usually with
man.
all things social, all things. Oh, hello, Kitty. So, um, so that's the important thing there is it really is. The focus is on, we'll have some snacks and, some non-alcoholic things to drink, some
Yep.
good times, and
Be
it
a
might,
countdown.
well, the countdown to, oh yeah, we could plan ahead. Like we'll do London, New
Sure.
Year's Eve or something. There's somebody somewhere is going to have a midnight that we can celebrate.
That's
It's
exactly right. Yep.
12
It's
o'clock
midnight
somewhere. That's
somewhere.
the
Yeah.
theme.
It's 12 o'clock
Exactly.
somewhere. Well,
Perfect.
write
All
a
right.
song. I got a song.
Oh, all right, all right. Well, let's get together. We can put that out. Maybe we can do some music there as well. But a lot of good things that are happening right now. Let's keep the fire lit, keep the fire going, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see everybody on Saturday and Sunday. And as we kind of wind down, how about this? And if you've got some final thoughts, I don't want to take that away from you, but how about
Okay.
this? Let's go around and talk about, because we're coming into Thanksgiving, what are we grateful for? And I'm going to start because I'm kind of dropping it on you guys. I didn't give you
Okay.
advance notice. So just, off the top of my head, a couple things. Number one on my list is always grace, God's grace that that I've been forgiven. And I know I'm kind of stealing the low-hanging fruit here, but this one is really, I carry it with me every day. I write out 5 things I'm grateful for. And I could easily list grace as a gimme at this point. I don't even list it unless there's something very specific that I need to include.
Yeah.
But that and the fact that we have the time and the people to have the fellowship that we do. So this time that I get to have with you, Amy and Karl here, and the time that we get to talk about things that are happening with our church and with each other, and just the growth that we've been experiencing. Those are some easy things I can say I'm grateful for. So that's what I'll put out there for now.
Awesome.
Amy, are you grateful for your kitty cat?
Yep, I have all 3 of them like within an arm's reach right now, which doesn't happen that often. So
Oh, is it dinner time? Are we keeping them from a snack or anything?
no, but Shadow seems to have tangled himself in the cord. So if I
Oh.
end up disappearing, it's because my computer dies because he unplugged
Okay.
it.
All right. Did you have anything else though? I kind of took the reins on that one. Anything else that you wanted to share that you're grateful for?
The thing that came to mind as you were talking was our family.
Mm.
We've got our biological family, sorry, and our critters and our church family, all of that. So that was what came to my mind.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Karl.
I'm going to stay in that same theme, because what immediately came to my mind is that we have a church body, we have a family. You guys have both said it, that feels like a family. Well, because we are a family. But one of the elements is we are not scared. Well, we're not scared of the truth. We talk about the hard things. We have the hard conversations.
Right.
And I think that actually makes us closer. So I'm really grateful for the family that we have, that we've become, and will continue to grow. And my wish, if you will, what is it? Was it Ebenezer? My wish for the future years is that people that need family like this can experience it, and usually when they do, they realize, yeah, this is what I've been missing, because it is really special.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both. And did you have any final thoughts, a challenge
I do.
for the coming
Yeah,
week? Okay.
I really like that. I could just say done, but because we are coming up on Thanksgiving, and I think a lot of times we say Happy Thanksgiving to people. My encouragement, my challenge for the week is one person. Think of one person, either Thanksgiving Day or coming up on Thanksgiving Day. Just think of one person that you would like to lift up or encourage, and call them in. Don't wish them a happy Thanksgiving. You can do that at the end, but thank them. Tell them why you're thanking them, why you're grateful, why you're thankful that they're in your life.
Beautiful.
Build
I think,
people up.
yeah, that's a fantastic finish. And I'm going to do a quick throwback.
Okay.
Last week, we talked about reading through the Gospels and taking some time
Yep.
to read through those. And I just wanted to continue to encourage that.
Yeah.
I've been talking with the men's group, the Bible study in Bismarck, and we're going to start doing that together. And I think this is a great year to start going, a great time of year to start going through that as we're coming up to this thankful time, the holiday season, and of course, Christmas. To be thinking about how this all got started, I think is another good opportunity there. So very thankful for you, and I appreciate everybody that's taken the time to join us in this conversation today, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you soon. Take care. God bless everyone.